What's up, guys? How y'all doing? We have our very first big piece of information regarding EA Sports College Football. We really haven't heard too much regarding the game other than when they announced it that it was coming back. They haven't really said anything since then, but we got our first piece of information here, and it's big. So, according to Matt Brown, he is a publisher of Extra Points according to his Twitter bio. It's a newsletter covering off-field stuff in college sports. He has over 12,000 followers, so this isn't some random dude. He's a pretty reliable source when it comes to college sports. He said, according to internal documentation from CLC that he obtained via open records request, that the CLC told FBS institutions that EA Sports intends to release the new video game in July of 2023. So that's what we're looking like. The summer of 2023, so in a little over 2 years. And that is when NCAA 14 release was in July. So it'll literally have been a decade because NCAA 14 released in July 2013. So it literally have been a decade from since the last college football video game, which is crazy to think about. But, you know, this is good news, guys. Some of y'all I've been seeing, like, commenting, like, that's so long, but like I've been talking about this for a while. I said probably the summer of 2023 is what we're looking at, like the earliest. And so I'm pleased with this because we need time for a couple things. First off, if you want it to be a good game, they're gonna have to. I mean, it takes bare minimum, in my opinion, like 2 years to create and develop a good game. Call of Duty comes out every single year, but they rotate whoever's making the game. So like there's Treyarch, Infinity Ward, right, and then Sledgehammer Games has been in there as well. So at the bare minimum, they're taking 2 years per developing cycle to create the game. And so they're doing basically the same thing here. They're starting from scratch. They are taking 2 years, over 2 years to create this game. But I think more importantly, the reason they're waiting so long is because they're waiting for the NIL laws to pass. They need, I mean, for this game, I mean, it's going to be successful regardless, but we all want the real players in the game, right? We want, you know, well, it'll be 2023 then, but, you know, whoever's in the game at that point, Tank Bigsby, I don't know, Bryce Young, you know, whoever is going to still be playing then, we want to see those guys in the game. We have to wait for those laws to pass, which they should pass, I think, this year, but then, you know, you still have to have time to develop the game and get all those players in the game. So July 2023 is what we're looking at. We also have some other information from Matt Brown. He hasn't, the newsletter, you have to pay for it. I obviously was not going to pay for it, but there is other information that we can see. So he posted like a little picture from part of the newsletter, but there's obviously a lot more, but this is all I can see. And so this is what EA Sports is requesting from the teams that are going to be in the game for them to give to EA Sports to put this stuff in the game. So what they're requesting from them is logos, obviously. I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, you need the logos of all the teams. Stadium scan data. So they're going to scan the stadiums, get realistic stadiums in there. Obviously, you need that as well. Now, this one might be the biggest one. Uniforms. So it says helmet, jersey, pants, socks. EA will want access to scan all available uniform assets. Even if uniforms will be changed even before the title's first release, EA will want access to historic uniforms to build up the library of historic uniforms that will be included in the game. So that is such big information, guys. There's going to be historic uniforms in EA Sports College Football, which was one of the things I put on my wish list if y'all didn't watch that video. So essentially, I would love to see, you know, every team have uniforms from, you know, the freaking 1940s up to, you know, now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That'd be so cool to have that for every single team. We definitely need that, and it appears EA is planning on doing that, so that's awesome. Next on the list is costume mascots. So obviously they'll have all the mascots in the game. Next is non-costume mascots and traditions. So that's super cool. I mean, it has some examples. Rambling Wreck, Uga, which is the dog, Tommy, Trojan, Bevo, all these mascots. And what I love, it says traditions. So, you know, that could mean jump around at Wisconsin, you know, all these different random things, you know. And then next on the list is school-owned band recordings. So we'll have, you know, the fight songs of each team, and then trophies. So like, you know, the Egg Bowl has a trophy, the Iron Bowl has a trophy, all those trophies for not just, you know, I mean, obviously the SEC and the National Championship will have the trophies, but these are the school-specific trophies. So like I said, like the Egg Bowl and the Iron Bowl and all those different rivalries. So the last thing I'd like to mention is not every team, there's 130 FBS teams, and not all 130 of them are part of the CLC, which is the college licensing company. So EA is not going through the NCAA right now, it appears. They could go to the NCAA and get all the teams right, but the NCAA isn't wanting to work with EA. They aren't wanting to develop a game right now. So EA was like, fine, we'll go through the CLC, because the CLC has most of the FBS teams. They have the licensing for them, all the logos, jerseys, and all that. So out of the 130 FBS teams, only 118 are a part of the CLC. And instead of reading you those, I'll read you the ones that are not a part of it. So the 12 that are not a part of the CLC are Air Force, Arizona State, Army, Clemson, Georgia State, Kentucky, Navy, New Mexico, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Troy, and USC. And so Clemson and USC, those were two of them. They already have an existing relationship with EA Sports that you'll know they were in Madden, those games. So basically EA can go to these schools directly and get deals done with them. They don't have to go through the CLC. So these remaining 12, all EA is going to do is go directly to the school and say, hey, do you want to be in the game? And then they'll strike a deal. The other 118, they'll just go through the CLC and get them. And then hopefully also they'll have SCS teams and all those. I don't really know how that'll work. I don't know if they can go through another thing like the CLC, or if they'll have to go directly to the schools, and then maybe they only have like 10 FCS teams, like, you know, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, I don't know. But at least we want all 130 FBS teams, and they'll definitely have them. I'm telling you right now, they're going to have all the FBS teams. I don't know why people are freaking out saying like Notre Dame's opting out, they're not going to do it. NIL laws are going to pass. I guarantee you players are going to get paid, and they're going to be put in this game. And then all 130 FBS teams are going to be in the game. I mean, think about it. Imagine you're a player and you're trying to decide where to commit, and you have options like Notre Dame or, I don't know, Florida or something, I don't know. And Florida's going to be in the game, and Notre Dame decides not to be in the game. I'm not kidding. That would be such a huge recruiting pitch for a team that's going to be in the game. Like, hey, you'll be in the... If you know the player you're recruiting is coming down to like a Notre Dame that's not going to be in the video game versus a team that's going to be in the video game, like literally that is such an advantage for the team that's going to be in the video game. Notre Dame would literally lose recruits if they aren't in this video game. So, and that's just another thing, but they're going to be in the game, like I guarantee it. So I don't know why people are freaking out about that. But yeah, so that's basically it for this video. I wanted to talk about that. So it looks like, you know, a little over 2 years and we'll have the video game. So it'll have been a complete decade since the last time we got a college football video game. That's pretty crazy, but we're definitely looking forward to this game. Oh, dude, it's going to be so fun. I cannot wait. I'll definitely keep y'all updated on anything else. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching. Peace.